Hey, hello everyone. How are you all? Hope you all are doing great. So first of all, just let me know like my voice is clear or not. Just drop some messages on the chat. Yeah, anyone. Okay, so hope I am audible. Okay, so hello everyone. I am Ayan Gupta and I am a founder of Codesivo. And today's session is on Flutter. So we are going to see all about like the basics of Flutter, how we are going to start with Flutter. If someone is beginner and want to start his or her career in Flutter, then this is the session for you all guys. And we have our speaker Dhanush with us, who is going to take this session for you. Okay. So first of all, just let me know like how many of you already know about Flutter or you know the basics of Flutter or you are already into Flutter, and how many of you are interested? Yeah, cool. So yeah, I voice is clear. Okay, cool. Yeah, so like this is the time I'm going to invite our speakers. So without wasting any time, hello Dhanush,
Yeah,
how are
hey
you?
guys, I'm fine. Hey, so that's a nice introduction. Thank you for introducing me and giving me this opportunity.
So
So,
Dhanush, I
yeah,
think your
guys,
voice
is my
is
voice clear?
yeah, no, it's okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah, hey everyone, you can acknowledge like Dhanush's voice is clear or not
Yeah,
in the chats.
please drop it up, please.
Okay, so a lot of people
Thank
are
you.
saying they are interested, but they don't know about Flutter very well. So yeah, Dhanush, I think it's time to start.
Okay.
Uh, So yeah, and one more thing, everyone. Yeah, you can also ping your friends, like those who want to, like those who are really interested in Flutter, so that they can also join this session. And
Uh,
yeah, Dhanush, you can start now.
I guess
Now the
there are
stage
only
is yours.
7 people here. So how about we wait for some more time so that more of them could join in?
Yeah, I think you can start. You start with your introduction, and like the people
Okay.
will be joining in between.
Right. So, hey guys, as Anand told you, I'm Dhanush. I'm a full stack developer. I'm basically a high schooler. I'm a grade 12 student. And yeah, about me, I've been in this field for more than 2 years. I've won a lot of hackathons and been invited to Pinnacle. And Pinnacle is the Olympics of hackathon. Yeah, they call it the Olympics of hackathons. Only the top 200 hackers from all over the world get invited over there. And they fly to the US on a fully sponsored trip for a the competition. Yeah, and I was selected for those. And yeah, won a lot of hackathons, from 5 to 6 hackathons. But yeah, that's basically about me. So that puts me over there. So yeah, I mean, we could start the session now, or maybe wait for a few minutes so that people could join. So yeah, I am Maurice here.
Yeah, Dhanush, sorry to interrupt, but can you like pull your voice up little bit?
So yeah, how about now?
Yeah, it's okay now. Now it's okay.
Okay, great. So we can start now. Or- Okay, cool. So we'll start. So let's go. Guys, can you see my screen? Okay, you should be able to see my screen. Can you guys see it? Okay, great. So we'll start. Okay, so we'll be looking into full stack development with Flutter. So, okay, so first we are gonna look into what is full stack development, and then we'll be looking into, because full stack development comprises of the backend. We'll here use Firebase as our backend, so we'll be looking into Firebase as well, and we'll get to know more about Firebase, and then we'll integrate that in our Flutter app, and then perform the basic CRUD operations. We'll get to know what CRUD operations are later in the presentation session. Okay, so basically, what is full stack development? So here, to put it in simple words, let's take an example of Amazon. So everything that you see on the screen, like your search history, your profile, every static thing on the app, yeah, is the front end, but the backend is the place where all the information in the UI, in the front end comes from. So say your search history. So there should be a data for that, right? So that is basically from the backend. So that is what you call the backend. And front end is basically everything that the user sees. It improves the user experience. So that is the front end. So the front end and back end together is what we call the full stack, and the one who develops it is a full stack developer. And yeah, that's full stack development. And now in this session we'll be using two main technologies for development, Flutter and Firebase. Here Firebase is the backend. So yeah, what is Flutter basically? So Flutter is an open source UI software development kit by Google, and it's a cross-platform application soft tool. So it means you just so that's what makes it stand among all its competitors. So you just code once, and you have an app ready for Android, iOS, Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. Like, you don't need to code separately for every single operating system. You just code once, and you have the app ready for all the other operating systems. And also we have something called hot reload in Flutter, which is basically you don't need to just restart your app every time you make a change. It automatically gets reloaded, and yeah, that just boosts your what do you call your development speed. So it's Flutter, and also it the plugin and performance. Flutter has a variety of plugins to boost your development speed, and it can run apps at 120 frames per second with native. It'll be similar to native app performance. So yeah, that's what makes Flutter stand out from its crowd. And so yeah, we'll be looking at the basic concepts of Flutter. So we'll first be looking into widgets, then stateful and stateless widget, then some basic concepts of Dart. So widget. Everything in Flutter is a widget. In fact, the whole screen is a widget. So there are two types of widgets here that you need to keep in mind. So the first one is stateless widget, and second one is stateful widget. So you know, um, so let's take an example of this screen in your right here. Everything here is a widget, from the from the button in the bottom that says save to the text wheel that says product title. Everything is a widget, and the whole screen itself is a widget. So that's an example of that. And now stateless widgets. So stateless widgets are ones that cannot be altered once the state is built, and these states are basically immutable, and they cannot bear any amount of change in the variables, or you get the point, right? So say for example we use a text or an icon in our application where the state of the widget does not change at runtime. We use stateless widget. So say take an example in your right. So that's a screen where you just need to navigate between pages, right? You don't want anything in the screen to change. You just want to navigate that. So there, in those type of use cases, we use stateless widget. But stateful widgets, we use them when the details in the screen should be dynamically changed. So so you say, let's say, take an example here. Every time the user clicks the button, it should change. I mean, the text should change, the count should change. So it's something dynamic, right? It's not fixed. So for cases like that, we use stateful widgets. So that is the main concept of Flutter. And now we have Firebase. That's backend. So Firebase is a real-time database that lets you build great apps. And also the what makes it stand out from its crowd is its online support and hosting, which means that Firestore will also work offline. It will also provide you free, fast, and safe hosting service. And moreover, it's so beginner friendly, and it provides an intuitive and very user friendly user face for beginners to start with. And it's also secure, so Google takes care of your databases and you don't need to worry about the security. So let's get our hands dirty with some code, and we'll be just coding now. We'll be integrating Flutter and Firebase into the app. Okay. So now we need to create a new Firebase project. Okay, that's you need to create a new Firebase project in your. So this is how you create a new Firebase project. So you go into the website, go to the console, go to the console, click Add Project, and yeah, and just press continue. And, so it's creating up a project for us. Meanwhile, we'll create a Flutter project. So I already have a Flutter project created. You guys, I guess, know how to create a Flutter project, right? So, so once you have your Flutter project created, let's, you're good to go. Let's now integrate our, project into the, the backend into the app. Okay, so it's Android, right? Because in Firebase, you have separate configurations for Android and iOS. If you're building an Android app, you need to follow a different step. If you're building an iOS app, you need to follow a different step. In this session, we'll only be looking into Android. So that's a package name. Package name will be available in build.create and build.create. I mean the app level build.create. So that's your package name. And SHA1 code, that's basically an authentication code. If you want to use Firebase's authentication system, you need to give that. But we're not going to cover that in a session, so I'm just skipping that out. I'll just press that. And yeah, now it will give us this Google services.json file. It's basically a config file. So we need to add that in our. So we need to add that in our. Okay, so that's where we add in our app directory. So we need to add it there and just rename it to Google services.json. Yeah, that's what we need. So this will contain all the necessary information for the backend to just detect it and make sure that this is our app that we want to integrate. Yeah, that's done. Now, yeah. So now we need to copy this code, this one. You copy that and just put it here. In the build.create project level build.create. That's done. And now you gotta put this to this one, this one. That should be in your app level builder page. Put that, and yeah, you're good to go. So now we have integrated, Flutter into, I mean, Firebase into the app. Okay, now let's just skip to the console. So Firebase has, a huge variety of features from authentication to storage to hosting to machine learning, everything. It's just the best option you could get out there. But we'll just be looking into Firestore now. So let me just enable Firestore over here. Database. It's just exploration. This might take some time. Oh, good. Done. Okay, so we have everything set up now. Our backend is integrated into our front end. Everything is done. So we'll be looking into what is it's CRUD operations. I told you that we'll be looking into CRUD operations later into the session, right? So CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. Those are the basic, functions. So now we'll be looking into read. So read. This is basically the code for read. It's just pretty straightforward. You're just calling the method Firebase or instance or collection. So let me explain you how things go about in Firebase. So there's a collection here. Every collection, let's call it users. Users. We just generate some random ID. We'll give them a name. We'll give each user a name. So that those are the fields over there. So we call them dhanush. So we'll give them a name. So yeah, we got our stuff created here. So in Firebase, we'll always have a collection, and every collection will have a document, and every document will have a field. So this is the hierarchy. So this is how we go about in Firebase. So if you want to access this name here, okay. So what we do is we give the collection name. So here the collection name is I mean users, right? So we give that here. But this is just a random example, so it's post here. But in our case, it is users. So we give that there for the collection name, and for documents, this is an automatically generated document ID. We copy that there and paste it in post one. Instead of post one, we give this. So in yeah, for document we give this, and dot get. This is getting what the data in this document, and then we'll get a value, right? So that value will be equal to the name. So that's just how it works. So let me just create. So I have created a boilerplate code here. So to show you hands-on demo. So let me just create a function here. We are gonna perform this get function. That's the read. So let me give it a string name, yeah, and let me declare a function. Called read, collection. So collection, what I do? This is the users, right? Users collection. We're gonna give that users users dot document dot so dot and then that's the document ID. You can give a custom document ID, but just make sure that they don't go. I mean, just don't. They are unique ID, so you can't have two documents with the same document ID. So it's better you just auto generate it. So yeah, I have it auto generated here. Yeah, so I'm gonna copy that and just leave it here. Dot get. Just getting that. Yeah. Dot then. Dot then. And I'm gonna set the state. So now I'm gonna set the state of name equals to value. So yeah, that's value. So this value will contain all these information in JSON format. But we, in order to acquire just this name field, just this Dhanush here, we need to call this name field name key, right? So we are going to just call it like that name. So name, that's the field name over here. Make sure that your field name always matches with this one because that's how you help it identify which value you're looking for. So yeah, that's that, and that's pretty much it. We just wrote a function to read the data from the Firebase database. So yeah, I'm just gonna call the function here. Let's reload the app. The app is reloaded. So look, now we have Dhanush over here. Just got we just read something from our database. Amazing, right? Okay. So now listen to so now we have it gives me a what is it, get the food. That's because we probably went wrong here. Somewhere in giving the name. I told you right, is always make sure that we get our names collection name, document name, and something. Okay, we put that right. We can get it done. And now we have create. So create is basically it's also the same. It's just pretty straightforward. So we have the collection over here, and we give the collection name where you want to create it in which collection. So say here you want to create it in this users collection, you give that, and document. So you give the document ID over there. That's just this the document ID, and dot add you add it in the form of JSON. So you need to give it according to that. So quote, that's a field name. So quote text is basically the text that you're entering in the text field. So you're getting it here, right? Quote text equals to quote controller dot text. Whatever you're getting, whatever you're writing in the text field will be the value of the field quote. So that's that. And author, it's same thing again. Author is again the text in the text field, yeah. And you're just print. Then you're printing uploaded. Once it's added to our Firebase successfully. Yeah. That's about create, and now update. So we can also update all the records in our Firebase database. So that'll also be the same. So post, you're giving the collection, that's the post. So you're giving the name of the collection and then document. So that is the name of the document, and that will be, yeah, that will be this, and dot update. So you're just going to give the key and the value pair of the particular field that you want to update. So say here I just want to update my name into test. So there I would give name, and then colon, and then test. So yeah, that's what I'll do if I want to update my name. So dot then print updated. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward, right? And delete. So here, this is also just obvious, pretty straightforward. You're calling the instance, and you're giving the collection name, the document name, and this is deleting it. Yeah, that's it. And yeah, guys, that's it. That's it for this session. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any queries now, you can put it up in the chat. Mm. Mm. They don't see all of this. Yeah. Any doubts, guys?
Hello everyone. If you have any doubts, you can just drop your doubts on the chat.
So I think that you guys don't have any doubts.
Yeah, I don't think there is doubt.
Okay. So guys, how did you end? Yeah. Oh yeah, Dart is obviously compulsory, for learning Flutter. Dart is just a UI toolkit for Flutter. So it's just like a plugin for the language Dart. You get it. So it's just like Python is a language, and you have some XY plugin to make coding in Python easier. So it's just Flutter is just like that. Dart is a language, and you have Flutter, which is a toolkit to make your what do you call, yeah, to make your programming speed or whatever you say much easier in the language. So Flutter is not a language, guys. Flutter is just a toolkit. Dart is a language. So learning curve of that. So what I assume from learning curve is you're asking me how easy it is, like how hard it is, how long it will take for you to learn it. So Dart is basically an easy language. It's pretty much like JavaScript, I suppose. Yeah. So if you are into web development, it's pretty easy for you to pick up on Dart, and Flutter 2 is a pretty straightforward language. You can get a hang of it pretty quickly. For me, Flutter and Dart was my first language. So as a complete beginner, it took me around a month and a two to get well versed with the language. Uh, any more questions, guys? So that's it, huh? Okay. Okay, so streams in that. Um, so stream is okay. I told you that Firebase is a real-time database, right? So stream just helps you use that feature of what do you call that feature of Firebase. So stream just gets the data from Firebase like continuously, and if it detects a change, it just displays that in the app. So let me just give you an example here. Just hold on for a second.